Imagine a time when each trade, each craft, and every single person held a unique place in society. George Walker's The Costume of Yorkshire does more than show us the costumes of the time, it brings us stories of resilience, community, and Yorkshire pride. But what do these paintings say about the lives behind the scenes? In this video, we'll explore 4 of Walker's masterful pieces: The Horse Dealer, Sheffield Cutler, Jockies, and Wensley Dale Knitters. Let's journey through Yorkshire as it once was and discover why these images still captivate audiences today. What does a simple horse trade tell us about trust, skill, and survival? And how has our perception of trade and tradition changed since Walker's time? The horse dealer is more than a mere transaction. It's an exchange rooted in trust and skill, a moment captured where the dealer and the buyer communicate without words. Art historian Dr. Hannah Cooper explains, in the world of early 1800s Yorkshire, a horse was often a family's most valuable asset. The trade was a ritual of its own, where skill, instinct, and reputation came into play. Walker captures this beautifully, showing us the respect between buyer and seller. Yorkshire's fairs were essential for rural life, acting as social hubs where people could gather, trade, and share news. John, a Yorkshire native and historian, describes these fairs as the lifeblood of small villages and towns. For many, it was one of the only times they could connect with those outside their immediate surroundings. These moments of connection were crucial to Yorkshire's tight-knit communities, creating bonds that lasted generations. Notice how Walker uses the light to emphasize the central characters, guiding our eye to the hand of the dealer as it gestures toward the horse. It's a deliberate focus on the transaction, a technique Walker mastered to draw viewers into the story. Today, the horse dealer resides at the British Museum, where it remains one of the museum's standout pieces in illustrating English rural history. For those who view it today, it's a direct line back to a simpler time, a way of life that still resonates. How did Sheffield's cutlery define the identity of a city and its people? And what stories lie behind the steady hands of its craftsmen? In Sheffield Cutler, Walker provides us with an image of dedication. The cutler, alone and intensely focused, embodies the skill and pride that made Sheffield's craftsmanship world-renowned. This isn't just a man at work, he represents an entire city's identity. Lucy Barnes, an art critic, puts it this way: Sheffield's cutlery was revered not only for its functionality but for the level of artistry involved. Each blade, each handle, was a small masterpiece in itself, something that Walker captures with incredible sensitivity. In Walker's era, Sheffield's reputation as the City of Steel was firmly established. Sheffield cutlers weren't just laborers, they were artisans. Richard, a third-generation Sheffield cutler, shares, "My grandfather and his father before him took pride in every piece they crafted." It wasn't just about making a tool, it was about contributing to the legacy of Sheffield. This legacy was something each cutler carried with honor, knowing their work represented the resilience and skill of an entire community. Walker's use of shadows and his focus on the cutler's hands create a sense of intimacy, drawing viewers into the craftsman's meticulous work. Art historian Dr. Collins explains, Walker's focus on hands is a subtle homage to the working class, emphasizing the strength and artistry in what they do. It's a gentle yet powerful tribute. This piece is also part of the British Museum's collection, a testament to the labor, skill, and pride of the people of Sheffield. Visitors today can marvel at this window into a world where each tool was crafted with pride. Have you ever wondered how a single race could bring people from all walks of life together? And what role did horse racing play in 19th century Yorkshire society? In Jockies, we see not just competition, but camaraderie. Walker captures a moment of calm before the storm, a shared pause where jockeys connect before they race. It's a scene that speaks of unity, rivalry, and anticipation all at once. Art historian Emma Doyle comments, "Horse racing was a unifying force, and Walker beautifully captures the quiet unity that racing fostered among people of different backgrounds." Horse racing had long been a cherished pastime in Yorkshire, a thrilling event that united classes and communities alike. Tom, a Yorkshire racing enthusiast, explains, "Races were the great equalizer. No matter your background, everyone could feel the excitement of the race. It was a tradition rooted in our heritage, a source of pride." For many Yorkshire locals, racing was more than sport. It was an expression of their love for horses and the outdoors, a celebration of their unique connection to the land. Walker's use of perspective brings us close to the jockeys, creating an intimate atmosphere. Dr. Harris notes, "The slight tension in their faces, their careful stance." Walker captures a specific moment of focus and camaraderie. It's as if he's showing us their mutual respect, which transcends the competition about to unfold. This piece, also displayed at the British Museum, remains a lasting tribute to Yorkshire's long-standing love for horse racing. Viewers today can appreciate the same anticipation and unity that racing enthusiasts felt centuries ago. What do a few knitting needles and some will say about the strength of a community? And how did Wensley Dale's knitters weave more than just fabrics? They wove connections. The women in Wensley Dale Knitters sit together, knitting with focused determination. This scene is an ode to rural industriousness and community spirit. In an interview, Jane, a historian of Yorkshire women's work, explains, "For these women, knitting wasn't just a job, it was a form of independence. It was about camaraderie, survival, and pride in creating something with their own hands." In Wensleydale, knitting was a cottage industry and a lifeline for many. Fiona, a descendant of Wensleydale Knitters, shares, "My grandmother told me stories of these knitting circles where women would gather, not just to work but to share their lives, their struggles, and their dreams." These gatherings were a source of emotional and economic support. Knitting circles like these allowed women to contribute economically to their households, forming a tight-knit community within the larger Yorkshire society. Walker's use of lighting and positioning brings a quiet dignity to each knitter, elevating their work from a simple domestic chore to an act of resilience and connection. Art historian Dr. Ellie Matthews observes, "Walker's composition is incredibly respectful. He doesn't idealize, but he captures the authentic focus and pride of these women." This piece, too, is part of the British Museum's collection, where it reminds us of the legacy of female artisans who helped support their families through skill and dedication. For viewers today, Wensley Dale Knitters is a touching reminder of the importance of craft and community. George Walker's The Costume of Yorkshire gives us a portal into the lives, trades, and traditions of early 19th century Yorkshire. From the bustling marketplace to the quiet knitting circles, each painting is a testament to Yorkshire's spirit, its pride in work, and its rich community bonds. Through Walker's lens, we see that every individual, be it a cutler, a jockey, a horse dealer, or a knitter, contributed to Yorkshire's legacy. These paintings continue to speak to us, inviting us to reflect on our connection to community and the value we place on craft and heritage.